Hi, I'm Jere Lantz, Artistic Director of the Minneapolis Pops Orchestra, with a very special guest to chat with. You will definitely recognize his voice if you don't recognize him in person. It's our good friend Tim Russell, who is known for being on WCCO and being on Prairie Home Companion and being our guest host every year at Lake Harriet in our final concert, The People's Choice. Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Jerry, I'm just doing great, and it's always been a pleasure to be involved with you and the orchestra, and had a great time all the way back since 1996, I think, we started our collaboration.
24 years ago. Can you believe it? And
I can't.
Since that's divisible by 4, like this year, it was an election year.
Yeah, the election years were always extra special, because this is the People's Choice concert that we talk about at the end of your great season at Lake Harriet Bandshell, and as it turns out, every 4 years, and we went through several election cycles. The first one had a triumvirate, which helped introduce you and the orchestra at the Harriet Bandshell.
That's right. That was 96 was our very first People's Choice concert, when the audience could pick what they heard in anticipation of picking in November the president they wanted. Now, you say there was a triumvirate?
Yeah, the outlier, of course, was Ross Perot.
Now, here's the deal, see? Normally, People's Choice would get the audience to applaud when they want to hear a selection. I had bars and charts and graphs, all these things, but the applause, well, that was like a curtsy to a queen, you know. Without the applause, it's like a one-eyed man in a turkey shoot.
And then, of course, we had Bill Clinton. I don't know if anyone remembers my brother Roger, but he was the musical one in the family. And if you ever heard him sing, I feel your pain. And then we had the Republican side represented by grumpy Bob Dole. Bob Dole would have loved to have been there in person, but couldn't because of ED, early dinner. And but I like the music. I like the current music, the Rolling Stones, their tunes, Hey, You Get Off My Lawn, and I Can't Get No Metamucil. So it was quite an evening, and we had the crowd get enthused and involved, as always, and made some great selections for you in the orchestra.
And that was always fun, because you could always add a lot of flavor to it. And if my recollection is correct, have you been with us every year or almost every year since 1996?
We missed 1 year, I think, in 2015. I had to go to, I was part of a tour of Europe as a guest host during that period. So I think we missed 1 year. But, you know, we've been remarkably lucky. I don't think the weather has ever been an issue. It's been hot sometimes, but I don't recall it being rained out ever.
Well, okay, now that you have said that, I know what's going to happen on our People's Choice concert in 2021. It's going to rain.
Can you predict what's going to happen?
Absolutely.
I'd like to know.
You just jinxed it. You just jinxed it. It's
We'll
going
see
to
what
be
happens.
raining.
Well,
Yes.
we'll have a president, undoubtedly. We could have gone back to simpler times. I think this has been 70 years or 69 years for the Pops concerts.
This would be the 71st season if we had a chance to have it. Yes.
Back maybe a little after FDR, but the only thing we have to fear is selling beer at the concession stand. Then the people would get out of order, of course. Then you'd have a whole different thing going on.
Yes, very, very definitely. Though I have to say, my kids always loved the concession stand when they were there. Definitely.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you remember, even Bill Clinton, when he was running twice, that my favorite thing about the concert was the popcorn and the strawberry cone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, now, do you think if we had done it this year, you could have had guests come as well?
I'm sure we could. You never know what Joe Biden might say. Come on, man. Play that song.
But, we love the orchestras. Orchestras play very strongly. They're fantastic, terrific. There's none better than the Minneapolis Pops. I love Minneapolis. What a great town. And I love pop because I don't drink. Can you believe it?
Anyway, it could have been interesting.
Very much. And we love all guests of all political persuasions.
That's right. We have no favorites.
At Lake Harriet, they're all welcome. So, Tim, how are you dealing with the current crisis? You have a beautiful office at home with your ancestors behind you on the wall.
That's
but
my
what are you up to?
My great-great-grandfathers. That There's a guy in a beard up here who's James Abbott. I'm sorry, that's James Lennon, who was a sheriff and a Civil War veteran from Appleton, and he's the great-grandfather of the Lennon sisters, and that's how I'm related on my mother's side. She was a Lennon.
So you are related to the Lennon sisters. Now, now, people don't remember the Lennon sisters. Tim and I are of a vintage where when we were young, our parents insisted that we watch the Lawrence Welk show, whether we wanted to or not, and therefore we know who the Lennon sisters are. Do you personally know the Lennon sisters?
I do. They've been to our house here several times, and they're fantastic people. They live in Branson for the most part. Dee Dee,
Sure.
the oldest, lives in California now, but and they had 11 kids, you know, and so a lot of the boys have been musically involved too in a band called Venice out in California, and they're terrific. But yeah, wonderful guys. Thank you, boys. Always a fine job on our show. You remember?
And I remember Lawrence Welk very well. Exactly that way. Exactly that way. Well, so during COVID, have you been staying at home, taking care of yourself, you and Judy?
We have been absolutely isolated and taking care of ourselves. We have Instacart hauling in the food every week. And it's been a blessing because I live near Cedar Lake Parkway in Minneapolis, which has been closed until this week. They opened it up again. So every day you could go for a stroll through a park-like setting, and I've gotten more exercise than I've gotten in 20 years, thanks to the COVID. But it helps, of course, to stay healthy.
Well, it's funny. Christina and I have been staying at home too. We use Instacart a lot. And the next thing we're going to do as soon as you and I finish chatting is take a walk around the neighborhood. So the exercise quotient has actually gone up during this time. You're right.
The other thing I did I did like 19 different parody songs using my ukulele, which I learned about 3 years ago, and using the voices that I could remember. Everyone from Jimmy Stewart to Louis Armstrong to Tony Bennett. And so I put those all on my Facebook at Tim Russell Actor, if anyone wants to check those out. I can't vouch for the ukulele playing, but it's there, and it helped with the writing of some parody songs.
So check
based on real music, of course.
Check Tim Russell Actor on Facebook, and we can hear your 19 songs. That's fantastic. Yep. Love it. Love it. Well, do you have any final message? I have one final message, and that is I announced on previous moments for Lake Harriet this summer that we have a $20,000 goal, which is what we usually raise, as you recall, Tim, at the lake over the course of the summer. And we had $10,000 pledged to us, and most of that has been matched. We have $4,000 to go. So if anyone can think about the Pops Orchestra and check out our website, you're more than welcome to keep us alive so we can be back, I hope, with Tim Russell in 2021.
Well, there's always a full season of terrific concerts, the penultimate being, of course, the People's Choice, where people who have been faithful attendees all summer long can come and decide what of their favorite songs they want to hear from the orchestra. So I hope this will go on for another 71 years.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks so much for your support and your being with us every summer. Stay safe with Judy at home, and we'll see you in 2021.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tim.